Okay, so the last video that you have here is going to be operations. And I know you know how to add and subtract and all of that stuff, but I'm going to just go over it, make sure that you're up to date and that'll refresh your memory. I also have a discussion board video that shows you some manipulatives like base 10 blocks, and I want you to look over that because that's something that you'll be using in your classroom. So I have 2 addition and 2 subtraction and a division over here. Alright, so this first one's pretty easy. I'm going to add my units column, which are my ones column, and I add those up and I get 9. And then I'm going to add my tens column and I get an 8. And then I'm going to add my hundreds columns and I get a 12. Okay, so that one wasn't very fancy. That's how it would look, 1289. I'm going to look at my sheet, make sure I don't make any mistakes where I don't have to redo a video. Okay, the next one's going to be a little bit tougher. So 9 plus 5 would give me 14. So there's the 4. And remember, I carry my 1. So 6 plus 5 would give me 11. And 1 more would give me 12. And I carry my 1. And 6 plus 4 gives me 10, and 1 more would give me 11. So that's how that one would look. Alright, so moving to subtraction, with my first one, I'm going to subtract 9 from 5. Well, you can't subtract 9 from 5, so you have to borrow. So I'm going to borrow one of the 10s. So if I borrow a 10, that's going to give me 10 plus 5, which is going to give me 15 here. And since I borrowed one from this 5 in the middle, that's going to leave me with a 4. 15 minus 9 would give me 6. Four minus 1 would give me 3. And 4 minus 4 gives me 0. So my answer would just be 36. So then we've got this next one we're going to subtract. 1 from 8 would give me 7. So I didn't have to borrow with this one because 1 was less than 8. But when I get ready to do the next one, 9 won't subtract from 4. So I do have to borrow here. So that's going to give me a 14 in the middle in the tens column. And since I borrowed from this 3, that's going to give me a 2. So 14 minus 9 would give me 5. And that's going to give me a 2 right there in that block. And that's what I would get for that one. Hey, lastly on this page I have division. So 8 doesn't go into 14 evenly. 8 times 1 is 8 and 8 times 2 is 16. So I know I can't go up to 2 because that would be too many. So I'm going to start with 8 times 1. Okay, 8 times 1 is 8, and so I'm going to line it up right here, and then I subtract. And when I draw my line, I change my sign so I make it subtraction. 14 minus 8 will give me 6, and I bring down the 2. Well, thinking of my multiplication tables, 8 times 7 is 56, and 8 times 8 is 64. So 64 is too high. So I'm going to say 8 times 7, and that's going to give me a 56. Draw my line and change my sign. So this is going to give me a 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. 6 is less than 8, so that means 6 is going to be my remainder, and my answer would be 17 with a remainder of 6. So then we have multiplication. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do the multiplication. Now remember, the reason I'm showing you 2 different ways is not everybody learns in the same way. So I do ask you to keep an open mind about the lattice method because some of your students are going to need to see a different method other than the tried and true method. So I'm going to do 89 times 64 in 2 different ways. Okay, so the first way that we do it is we say 9 times 4 is 36, and I carry the 3 up here. And then I say 8 times 4 is 32, plus the 3 would be 35. Now then I get ready to multiply the 6. Remember when I multiply the 6 that I'm going to line it up right here in this star position underneath the tens, because I'm multiplying from the tens column, so I have to scoot it over. So 6 times 9, also going to erase this, sorry. Now then, 6 times 9 is 54, and I bring my 5 up. 6 times 8 is 48, and 48 plus 5, if you need to come to the side, would be 53. Now once you get there, you can add them up. So I get a 6 and a 9 and a 6 and a 5. So the answer is 5,696. Now there's a new way out there called the lattice method. Okay? And here's how I'm going to set it up. I have an 89 and I have a 64. So those are both 2 digits. So I'm going to go across 2 digits and down 2 digits. So that's going to make 4 squares. Okay, I'm going to put lines through the squares. And in each box, I'm going to multiply the numbers. Okay, so for example, an 8 times a 6 would be this box over here, and 8 times 6, hold on a second, I don't like this. Obviously the lattice way is not my top way, because I learned mine old school like you see on the left. Okay, so start back over with that. I'm still going to have 4 boxes, that's right. I just drew my diagonals the wrong way, and it's important to draw your diagonals the right way. So, drawing the diagonals, they are going to look like that. They are going to be going increasing. So start at the bottom corner and draw to the top. Now then, let's try again. I have an 8 and a 6, and that's going to go in this blank right here, which would be a 48. Okay, a 9 and a 6 would go in this blank, and that's a 54. 9 times 6 is 54. Okay, so I'm done with the 6. I used it up. Now let's go with the 4. 8 times 4 is 32, and 9 times 4 is 36. Here's how it goes from there. You're going to make diagonals. This one's a 6. Here's my next diagonal right here in this. 4 plus 3 plus 2. You're going to add them up. 4 plus 3 plus 2 would be 9. Okay, here's my next diagonal. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 5 is 16. So that's a 6, and I carry the 1. 4 plus 1 would be 5. 5, 6, 9, 6, which is exactly what we got on the other page. You just have to work it that way. The hardest part of this one, other than wrapping your mind around that I'm giving you a new way to learn it, is to draw your diagonals the right way. The only reason I ever miss this one is I draw the diagonals the incorrect way. Okay, so let's try one more of those. This one's a little bigger. 739 times 83. Okay, so I'll multiply everything by 3 first. So 3 times 9 is 27. Carry the 2. 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 plus 2 is 11. 3 times 7 is 21. 21 and 1 would give me 22. Okay, let's start back over with the 8. 8 times 9 is 72. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 and 7 would be 31. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 and 3 would be 59. Once I get to this point, I add them up. Now remember when I made this 8, I lined the 2 up. I said 8 times 9 is 72, and I lined the 2 up under the 8. So this is a 7 and a 3 and a 3 and an 11. Carry, and that gives me 61. 61,337. Make sure we got it where I don't mess you up and have to redo a video. let's check it the other way. Check it using lattice. So I have 739, and I'm multiplying this times 83. So I'm going to have more boxes. Okay, so when we get ready to do this one, we've got 3 terms in the top and 2 terms in the bottom. And that's about the worst rectangle I've ever seen. So forgive it. Alright, so remember when I line them up, I'm going from top to bottom with my diagonals. That's how I missed the first one earlier today. Alright, so 7 times 8 is 56. And 8 times 3 is 24. And 9 times 8 is 72. 7 times 3 is 21. And 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so if it's 9, that's a 0, 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So I have my boxes made up. Now I want to do the diagonals. So I have a 7. Okay, 9 plus 4 would be 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 7 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. Carry the 1. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1. And 5 plus 1 is my last one. It's 6. So I get 61,337. And that's how you do lattice multiplication.